Well, here we go, guys. Welcome to the podcast. This is Life in the Peloton. I'm Mitch Docker, your host, and the podcast is being brought to you by our partners over at MAAP. Now, MAAP, they're on the eve of launching their new Alt Road collection on the 16th of May, and to celebrate, there's lots going on, not just here in Melbourne, but around the world, and it's kicking off this week in my old hometown, Girona, with the epic gravel event Tracker. And MAAP have got heaps going on around Girona. The Alt Road launch party on Wednesday the 1st of May at Velodrome in Girona, right in the heart there with Findog, spinning the decks, my old mate Taylor Finney. There is a cruisy rollout on Thursday from Velodrome also before the Tracker event kicks off with the 360 on Friday and the 200 on Saturday. And then there's a cheeky MAAP Alt Road recovery ride cruising out again from Velodrome to close the weekend out on Sunday morning. Oh, it sounds fun, very fun. I wish I could be back over there to soak some of that up. So you've heard what mountain bike enduro is. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, I did the pod sort of explaining what this level of cycling is, what this sport of cycling is, downhill mountain biking, enduro mountain biking. I even did some training myself. I got the bike. It was time to get to New Zealand, the New Zealand Mountain Bike Rally. What the hell is this? It's a 6-day all-inclusive enduro mountain bike event based out of Nelson and the surrounding areas. A crazy mecca of mountain bike trails in the South Island of New Zealand. So, slightly different to the World Cup Enduro events that we were talking about in the last episode. These guys and girls, they pedal up all the mountains. In the rally, we're getting shuttled some of the way, whether that be in a four-wheel drive Jeep or in a bus, a boat, and even a helicopter. There was still some pedaling too, don't you get me wrong, but the main point was we were there to be timed on our downhill runs. There is 6 days. Each day is broken up into stages, and it can be 4 stages a day, or it can even be right up to 8 stages. And downhill runs, the stages, they're not super long in terms of if you compare it to road riding or something. They're just a few minutes for the short ones and even sometimes over 10 minutes. But it's the accumulation of time and the fatigue over the week that really mattered. I really underestimated. I'm like, is it like, 4 minutes? That's not going to be that hard. Oh, tell you what. By the end of the week, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, I was crying for the end. It is a race, and everyone was racing there. But the thing is, the difference in level was so big. We had some guys and girls who were racing in the EWS, the World Cup stuff. Super good people, super technically really good. But then you also had beginners like me. So when you got in your group, sort of your top 10 to 20 around you, you ended up racing each other, but it was in such a lighthearted way. I met some really great people, and for me, this was the absolute highlight. The community of this Peloton was the best. And after being a week on the road with 150 or so others, we were so close, a big piss up at the end, and that was it. It was like a bitter, sweet sort of finish to it. Of course, my Kiwi mate, my trainer, Matt Fairbrother, he was also doing the event, but completely unsupported, and we chat to him along the way too. Now, just before we get to this episode, I want to tell you a little bit about a very cool product that has been changing pro cycling over the last few years, but it's something I've been testing and using myself over the last couple of months. HVMN. Health Fibre Modern Nutrition were the world's first to launch a drinkable ketone back in 2017, Ketone 1.0. And just a couple of years ago, they launched their second generation of drinkable ketones, Ketone IQ. Now, Ketone IQ is being used by over 60% of the pro peloton, and we've seen the effects it's had on racing. It's allowing riders to tap into this extra fuel source, seeing them preserve glucose stores for later in the race. But it's also aiding to their recovery and their cognitive health. Ketones are an ultra-efficient fuel source, especially for our brains. The beautiful thing about Ketone IQ is that now we have this highly efficient fuel source available as a supplement to take whenever we need it. Within minutes, you'll have ketones in your bloodstream, putting you into a ketosis state without having to do all the fasting and all the other stuff you used to have to do. I no longer need to be at peak performance racing over in the World Tour anymore. So why am I using it? When I'm out riding or running, I love the feeling I have when I'm stacking keto and IQ with a high carb intake. It's a steady energy state feeling. You don't get these huge peaks and then these drop-offs. You sort of just can keep pushing away all day long. Finally, I have to admit, where I'm most blown away with Keto and IQ is when I'm actually right here recording these podcasts, talking to you guys, working in front of my computer. I've especially noticed the cognitive effect, just being more productive. Try it out for yourself. Head across to hvmn.com/lifeinthepeloton for a whopping 30% off your first order. That's hvmn.com/lifeinthepeloton. Why not? Test it out. You guys be the judge. If you want to know more information, listen to the podcast we did a few weeks ago with Michael Brand, and he explains it a hell of a lot better than I do. Well, lastly, guys, one more thing I've got to tell you about is the Pelo. The Life in the Peloton membership, the Echelon, all the Doomline, the 2 tiers that we have. The reason why I want to tell you this is we've got some really cool stuff coming out to those members right now. The book, the Life in the Peloton book, is just about to drop, and the Life in the Peloton Echelon members are going to get a limited edition signed copy of the book. So if you are not a member, I don't know what you're doing. Get across, get yourself one of these. Plus, we've also got the pods coming out that I'm recording with Swain Tuft, the Life in the Peloton Chronicles. These epic episodes, they're huge. The latest one being the Green Edge story. Well, are you ready to come on the road with me? Here we go. Strap yourself in. Get ready. The New Zealand Mountain Bike Rally. So I've landed in the motherland. I'm here in the South Island, Christchurch, and I'm being picked up by my chauffeur, Matthew Fairbrother. Mate, this is going to be the start of our journey. Flight was good. We're here. I'm scared. This is something I've never done before. I'm just a roadie. I've dabbled in a little bit of cross country. Now I've just decided to go full on in. So there's heaps of stuff going to happen this week. Long time since I've been in New Zealand. Never been to the South Island. I want to do all the South Island. I want to understand the culture. On the way down, we're going to have a bit of a road trip. We're going to drop in and see POC now. They've got their headquarters here as well, which is exciting. So heaps to do, mate.
Yeah, it should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and you definitely sound quite scared. So I'm quite excited to see how you handle it.
Well, we'll just be checking along the way. We're just driving out of the airport. Nothing too really to report as of yet. Well, Matt, training's done, bud. We're heading out to the sign-on now. Good few days of training, hanging out, sort of getting ready for it. You've had a really busy day because your adventure starts tomorrow. Well, both of our adventures starts tonight. Starts tonight, yeah. So, more or less, how you feeling, bud?
Yeah, there's been quite a big build-up, like so much logistics, and it's been full on, but quite excited, a little bit nervous. Haven't had too much time to think about the actual event, but yeah, it's all starting to pan out, and excited to get into it.
You're heading off tonight to ride to the start of the stage, which kicks off tomorrow in the Gorge, I think you told me before. So what are you most looking forward to about just getting out on the road tonight?
I think just the whole thing starting, like, you know, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes getting this up and going, and like just being able to start and forget about all of that. And yeah, I think that's going to be the best part. We're just all going to have to work it out as we go now. So it should be a lot more easy on the mind, I think.
And just quickly give us a run through exactly sort of how it is going to look for you. You're going to ride to the stage. We've covered this a little bit, but just to remind us exactly how your week looks like.
Yeah, so I'm going to have no shuttles, no helicopter, no boat, and I'm also going to be biking in between the locations of each day. So it's going to be a big week of pedaling, a big week of descending, and yeah, a big week of just being a bit of a dirty person living out in the bush.
What are the stats? How many K for the week and how many altitude meters are you climbing? Do you know all that?
Oh, I don't know how many kilometres, but I'm looking at about 18,000 vertical metres I need to climb over the week.
Well, it's going to be a hard week, for both, I think. Like me, technically, the physical side, I'm going to be able to relax and just sort of cruise along. And I know you're out there trucking, but you're going to be able to relax on the descents. Maybe not, though. You're still going for the win, aren't you?
I don't know about the win, but this is always going to be you're always competing against yourself in these events. You're always going as hard as you can. So, hopefully I do place well, but in the end, you're only competing against yourself.
All right, we've just had the big briefing. Oh, it was a hell of a briefing, wasn't it?
It was not easy, to remember everything. There was a lot going on.
So I'm speaking with Dane and Laura. They're from Newcastle. They're over here in New Zealand to experience what I am. But there's two different things. There's the all-inclusive, the self-supported. Guys, tell me a little bit about why you wanted to come over here.
I've personally got friends over here, so I've done a number of races over here before and loved it. And Laura has not been here before, and so we decided to do it together.
Laura, tell me about your skills and your knowledge about the tracks. I've just experienced a little bit the last couple of days. Actually had a little off today as well, trying to be a bit too tricky. What are you thinking about it?
So far the impression is steep. Steep. And it's all going to be pretty difficult for me, I think, coming from a cross-country and road background. So
Well, what's the tactic then going into this? I'm hearing people going to be racing it. Some people are cruising. What is cruising? Is it actually cruising?
I think trying to juggle between... I've had a lot of mountain bike experience compared to Laura. I'm pretty confident and I can get through things. Having her behind me, I try not to let it distract me too much, but I'm still concerned. And I just want her to finish the race and have fun. So some corners... slid around on your bum and have a leg out and are locked up and just survival mode, but that's not too many. On a steep track, it might be 2 or 3 times. So as long as she has fun, I'm happy.
I'm going to be in the same position as you, Laura. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm just sort of skidding way too much and whatever, but I think, what are you most nervous about?
Oh, you just got to get to the bottom of the hill. That's all we've got to do every day. Doesn't matter how. On your bike, next to your bike, whatever.
Well, let's check in after a few days. All right, here we go. This is stage 1 of the rally. It's going to be pretty interesting. 7 stages today, day 1, 7 stages. The way it's going to work, I'm not exactly sure. Got to go up and down the hill a few times. Apparently there's some extra stages. There's some blacks, there's some blues, there's a whole range of stuff that I don't understand. So let's see how that goes. Also, let's just see how the downhills go. Going to try and not get too carried away. Hopefully I don't have someone straight up my ass. Maybe I might catch someone, who knows. Let's see what happens. Well, Quinton, Richard, we're here at the start of the rally. Explain to me what it has meant to finally get into the first shuttle. Finally, the race is beginning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an amazing time here. It's really great, glad to see so many people who flew from all over the country to come and enjoy Nelson Tasman or the trails we've been singing off and trying to do the best route as possible for like a 6-day adventures. And so here we are. The shuttle is full. Are you happy, guys? Yeah! And so it's going to be a good time. We've been practicing yesterday in the gorge with the crew. We went for a social ride, and I can guarantee you that it's going to be epic.
Well, we're in New Zealand, and you've got an accent. Where are you from exactly?
I'm sure you can guess. I'm from France.
And there's a lot of internationals here, isn't there? That's just a mix. How many people do we have here, and what are the percentage of internationals, do you think?
I think there's more like 60% of foreigners, and we've got at least 1/3 of Australians, a lot of Australians, so it's going to be fun. And also we've got lots of people coming from North America, and we've got also a few people from France, UK, Germany, Austria, so people who travel almost 40 hours to come here. So really looking forward to having all these people on the trails and having fun in the evenings, sharing beers.
Well, you know why people should come here? You know how good the trails are. Is that the reason why everyone comes? How do people know how good it is here? Has it got the reputation New Zealand for the trails?
Yeah, for sure. Firstly, the trails, it's really amazing. But I think also that the landscapes and everything plays a bit. And to me, what I really love here is the people. Like, it's really welcoming. Really, people are really, really nice, and it makes really the difference when you're traveling. Everyone is helpful, so you're sure you will have a good time here.
Tell me quickly about stage 1 or day 1. We've got 7 stages. Tell me about today. What are we looking forward to?
So today's be a good start because stage 1 is quite flowy and a bit fast, really funny, and so nothing's too steep. It's like lots of switchbacks. It's basically a stage you could pedal up, and actually then the liaison to stage 2 is also a pedaling up on a really flowy track with a lot of long switchbacks and everything, so it gets you warm up quite easily and safe. And then we go a bit more into gnarly style. Stage 3 is a bit more technical, and then it's going harder and harder until stage 7 and 8, which looks epic and with an amazing view on the valley and final crossing of the bridge over the gorge. So it's going to be a really nice day. A long day, but nice day.
And finally, do you get to ride the trails, or what's your role here this week?
So actually, I'll be discovering most of the trails at the same time as you guys. I rode a few while I've been here 2 months ago, and I'll be just taking care of the social media and the press and managing the media crew. We've got 3 videographers and 2 photographers, so we should get some really nice content for the people who couldn't make it here to be a bit jealous while they are staying at home stuck under the rain, and we are here having a good time under the sun of New Zealand.
Who am I speaking with here?
Ricky Blomquist.
Mate, we've been in the bus for probably over an hour and a half now, and we're still climbing, and we're just been grovelling away up here. How are you feeling, actually?
Pretty good. I'm excited. It looks like the weather's breaking and we got sun, so it's going to be nice, but it's a little terrifying looking how steep this is.
It feels like we're just going to be descending like for hours on end.
Oh yeah, stoked for that. Maybe not the arm pump, but the descending for sure.
Toby, we've done 3 tracks. 4. We've done 4. Wow. Well, the last one was so long that I've forgotten. What do you think so far, mate?
It's awesome riding here at the gorge. Unbelievable. Very much different from at home. It's awesome.
Where's home?
Austria.
Austria, right. Different. I thought it would have been more gnarly there.
No, it is. It can be, but it's different. It's just the very loose. I think they call it cornflakes. It's very nice riding.
You like that stuff? I'm slipping and sliding all over the place thinking, oh, almost lost it, you know?
I'm in 2 minds about it. Some corners where it comes in really, really nice, and others where you lose your front wheel. It gets sketchy, but I guess just sketchy enough to be really fun.
So what you're saying is this is sort of your stuff, this level. It's not too hard for you yet. This is what you like.
Until now, I think it's very, very much manageable, and I think I can go harder, which is good because it's probably going to get way harder. So I'm confident. Yeah, no.
All right, so now we're going back up the top, shuttle again, and then we've probably got about 4 more if we can do the extra stuff, yeah?
Exactly, yeah. 2 stages, then another shuttle, and then the extended course with the 1 very long downhill.
Ricky, Josh, my first party train experience. And I've got to explain to everyone what that is. Well, maybe you guys can explain. Josh, you can explain what a party train is when it comes to downhill trail riding.
I think everyone just drops in together and stays as close as they can and just has a good time and watches everyone else sort of fuck up a bit, and it's good fun.
Laugh at each other.
Well, Ricky was driving the train at the start, and then he handed the...
Pulled us out the station.
Yeah, he pulled us out of the station. Actually, pulled out before I was ready. I missed the train, and I was chasing down the station to try and get on.
You caught us pretty quick. It was good. Yeah, pulled us out, and then, had a bunch of tight hairpins that was not having fun. So I handed it off to Josh.
I say that was probably my favourite trail today so far because, I found like you guys are my speed. It's like, it's not like, oh, this is boring, but it's also like, I'm with you, and then it's like, oh shit, they're getting away. So it's like almost perfect.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah. Another fun trail, hey. Yeah. Everyone's got better and better throughout the day, so it's good.
Well, now we've got the big boy left, don't we?
Yeah, the big one. We're definitely party training that one, right?
Let's get it going.
Well, day 2, I'm just heading up to the buses to jump on the shuttle, and we've just got 4 stages today actually, so looks like we've got a blue to kick us off, a blue-black, and then a blue later on. Then we've got a green. How nice is that going to be? It's a bit more cross-country style, I guess. I'll find out. And then a black to finish us off. Let's see how we go today. So tell me, Tobias, we spoke yesterday. It was just getting into the trails, really, just getting excited. But actually, it was on the final trail yesterday, the big boy, 7 and 8. I was just a few places behind you, and as I came around, you were picking yourself up and gave me a quick sort of prognostic of what had gone on, didn't you? You yelled out.
Yeah, I yelled out that I broke my collarbone, and yeah, it turned out to be actually broken. I was just overcooking it. I was overtaken. It was a very smooth overtaking, but I tried to keep up. The guy was just too fast. So I fell. I picked myself up. I kept on riding. I fell again, and then I knew it was just broken. Yeah.
So you broke it on the first time or the second fall?
No, on the second fall. On the first time, I fell on my left shoulder. It's a little bit bruised. It's all right. On the second fall, I hit my right shoulder. I just heard it crack and knew immediately. Yeah.
So it's the reality of this event. You're a pretty experienced rider yourself. It's not necessarily down to how experienced you are. What is it down to? How much you're pushing or just bad luck? What do you think it is?
I guess there's always a luck component involved, but in my case, I was definitely pushing myself too far. The trail was neither too fast or too technical, too loose or too anything. I just pushed myself too far, and I guess that's always the risk with doing stuff like that. It can happen.
And I guess on the sad side of things, the journey ends for you here. What's going to happen from here for you?
So from here, nobody really knows because we'll see. I'll stick around. I cannot really drive a car now, so I'm gonna stick around. I'm going to cheer on the racers when they come into the finish. Maybe I'll lend a hand at the feed stations. I'll just hang around and be here.
Well, it's been great meeting you. It's a shame we didn't get to enjoy the trails together from now on, but I reckon we might cross paths again somewhere.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks.
We're talking with Al. He's up from Christchurch. We're having a chat on the way out today. Al, we're about halfway through day 2. We've done 3 stages. Tell me a little bit about the last 3 stages today, mate.
Well, they're very peddly. A lot of loose stuff. So the cornering, I was struggling with the cornering, but on the high speed stuff, we got him behind another guy who he dragged us through nicely, actually.
Do you prefer this sort of stuff today? Like yesterday, to help everyone explain out there what peddly means, like yesterday was like shuttling up and steep downhill tracks, what everyone can imagine as going downhill as a mountain biker. This for me was sort of like some stuff I'd probably see on a cross-country course. Pedaling, but still some fast bits. And it's sort of like a bit challenging, like on those fast downhill bits, there's really only getting down. You know, you let your brakes out, you go faster. This was a real decision. Do I want to go faster? Do I not? That's the feeling I had because it felt dangerous if I went too fast. I don't know.
That today or yesterday?
No, today. Like, you know, on those straight bits, that's what I was feeling. Like yesterday, I know it was dangerous, but you were just committing because it was just going down. Yeah. Today was a weird feeling.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those are on the XC style course. I think they've thrown those in today because yesterday was so taxing on the bodies. So, yeah, I did enjoy them. It's but having an XC background too, you like to pedal sometimes. Been on an e-bike as well.
And now what are we doing?
We're off to Kamikaze and Tree Hugger. So there are a couple of good courses at Kaiteri. Kamikaze's a black. You can go a bit crazy on it. It's quite open. It's got a couple of wee features, and then Tree Hugger is exactly what it's called. It's fast and flowy and tight. So it's fast, but it's a bit more grippy. Completely different to what we just rode. So it's probably in between yesterday and today so far.
Yeah, so we're in a bus now. We've got to go up, and then we've got to do a 13k sort of ride across the top until we get there. I've actually had another off today. Would you believe it? I stupidly crashed in the transition. You know, when you're supposed to be just relaxed and cruising, I just slipped over a rock on a small downhill, and I'm running what they call a squid lid, which means when the little visor gets broken off and looks like a downhill ski helmet. What's your opinion on a squid lid?
Mate, when I saw you earlier, I noticed the visor was attached to your back. So, mate, it's there for a reason, though, isn't it?
It's not liked, I don't think, in the mountain bike world, but that's all I've got to do. Some people think I'm doing for aerodynamics, so I'll just take that.
Yeah, time trial.
My name's Gus, and I'm from Santa Cruz, California.
Santa Cruz, that's where those good bikes come from, I think, isn't it? The mountain bikes. So you must know how to go downhill.
I thought I did until I was trying to keep up with you.
Oh, no, get out of here. You stay off me. Have you seen my helmet? Broke the visor off. I'm running the squid lid. Mate, don't follow me down the hills.
I don't know about that. You're moving. But it's been a great day so far. Trails have been a lot of fun.
How'd you find the last one? And just pretty cool finishing down here. I sort of set the scene for everyone who's back home listening. We've just sort of travelled up. We rode an amazing sort of across sort of beautiful hills and then dropped down and did this black run, which was pretty techie. And then we popped out. Where did we pop out?
Popped out in the bay. I don't know the name of it, but it's definitely beautiful, surrounded by mountains on all sides, beautiful water, ready to get to the pub and have a beer.
How have you found the trail so far, in particular the last one?
I think the last one was my favorite so far. Had the most speed on it. Fun little jumps. Good time. Good little berms.
Awesome. All right, well, should we go get a beer?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Tim, Ben, Hayden, we all squeezed in this room, didn't we? It was a nice size, probably about a, 3 metre by 5 metre room. How was the night, Tim?
Yeah, it was good. I had bottom bunk, Mitch on top. He didn't shake around too much.
I was trying not to, but I did have to move a fair bit, and I could feel it rocking and rolling down there. What about you over here, Ben? What do you think? Were you ready for the day? Are you feeling recovered? It's actually only Tuesday. I couldn't realise the day. I'm feeling a bit worse for wear, actually, today.
Yeah, me too, mate. I think I got probably an hour sleep sleeping next to the tree harvester over here. But no, we're ready to go.
I was expecting Haydos to chop a few more trees down. I heard the chainsaw get going, but actually put it away pretty early after that.
Yeah, he's trying to be considerate, but we'll see what tonight brings.
All right, we're off to the boat today to cruise across the harbour. Well, it's day 3, and I'm actually feeling a little bit battered around. A couple little small falls, and it's just hard work. It's hard on the body. I don't think I'm riding the trails that well, in terms of I'm getting down them, but I'm not getting down them smoothly. So the body's a bit sore today, I think, and we're coming to Cable Bay, which is something that I got to test with Matt just before we started this. So I'm feeling a little bit more confident about the last 2 days because at least I sort of know the trails in the back of my mind. Doesn't necessarily make them easy, but gives you a bit more confidence. So far it's been a fun little adventure. Like, I'm just starting to really meet the crew now and get used to the flow of the day because it's certainly different to what I'm used to.
Hey, I'm Ollie Jameson. I right standing here on the beach at Cable Bay, just outside Nelson, and we're on day 3 of the NZ MTB Rally.
We certainly are, and this is a really cool idea. How did you come to this idea? And I know you've been involved with these kinds of events for a long while. Well, tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, where do I start? In a former life, I was a chartered engineer, so working in London in an office, and like a lot of guys, kind of wishing that I was elsewhere when I was chained to that desk. And so I spent a lot of time going out to the French Alps, and I was lucky enough to get an overseas secondment in France and spend more time mountain biking than doing anything else. So one thing led to the next, and before I knew it, I was running a guiding company over in the Alps, which is the company which called Trail Addiction, and I love that. I love guiding and showing people big adventures. And yeah, my good mate Ash Smith, who runs Trans-Provence, he and I are always, let's say, kind of just sounding off each other, inspiring each other. And yeah, we both had ideas of what the best thing to do would be, and his idea was Trans-Provence, and I ultimately came up with the Trans-Savoie. And Trans-Savoie was the first year was 2013, and that was really just a race version of what I was already doing with my small groups of riders. So yeah, just a week-long trip across the Alps. And yeah, so that was that. And I figured, okay, well, we've done this for 10 years now. By this point, I'm spending more and more time in New Zealand. And yeah, of course, actually, it was 2013 when I first came to Nelson. So that was just after the first ever Trans-Savoie, and immediately I was thinking, this is the place. And more importantly, why have I never heard of Nelson before?
And what I'm understanding from what I just heard then, it's the combination of having a little bit of competition, but this camaraderie between people, taking them on an adventure, pushing their boundaries, but also if people want to race and do that side of things, it's a big combination of all of that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Like I say, my background is guiding and organising tour groups and package holidays. This is definitely a race, but the entire thing, start to finish, is planned about the whole experience, not just about the stages and the riding. And yeah, for me, Nelson is a place that personally has got some of the best riding I've ever seen in the Southern Hemisphere. Like, easily should be shoulder to shoulder with Queenstown and Rotorua. So it's my home now, and I'm kind of inspired to bring Nelson up a little bit in international reputation. But also more so here in Nelson, unlike the other places I mentioned there, you have got more access to the backcountry trails, and you can do these cool things linking them all together. And then, of course, like anybody else, first time I went on a heli ride in New Zealand, I was blown away, and I was like, got to make this happen for everybody else, you know. So here we are.
So what types of people are coming to this event? You know, what people do you think really enjoy these types of things?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I race some of these races myself around the world. So, for example, last year I actually raced the Trans NZ, the Trans Tasmania, and the Trans BC, and I absolutely love it. You know, it's really good times for me. Not just the riding, it's like not just the racing, it's discovering new trails. I think it's people who are just keen to discover a new area. And it's kind of the same faces, actually. If you start doing these circuits, literally the same. We joke amongst the organisers that there's about 500 people who are just going around doing all the trans, all the multi-day races around the world. So whoever those guys are, but you know, typically it's you know, slightly older guys. I mean, it's not cheap to do one of these events, so it's somebody who's got a bit of cash put away or willing to sell a kidney to make it happen. And just people who want to, they got 1 week and they want to just max it out, but they don't want to have to deal with any of the admin themselves. You know, we just take care of everything: the riding, the route, the logistics, the accommodation, the food, the whole works. And it is like a holiday and a race combined, and that's what it should be.
And for anyone who hasn't been to one of these, you said there's a big group that do a lot of them. Why should someone come and do this? Like me, someone who's never done mountain biking, get involved, come and do it. Is it too hard? What's the draw card for people who have never been here, do you think?
Okay, that's a good question. Look, this particular event isn't designed to be like too hard. It's not supposed to be only for, you know, retired pros or whatever. That's not the aim. However, it is challenging, clearly, because one of these days a standalone would be pretty challenging, but 6 back-to-back is a different story, and I think you'll probably give us some feedback yourself about that by the end of the week. But yeah, so I mean, the draw card is really just you've got 1 week. You want to discover a new place you've never been to, and I'm especially proud here because I think that like more than 90% of the riders here this week have never even been to Nelson before. Most of them haven't even been to New Zealand, so you know that's just really cool for me to. You know, it's just there's nothing better than riding a great trail for the first time in my experience. That's what I like. I love that feeling of literally not knowing what's coming next, and it's just like. Your eyes are on stalks, you know, time slows down, you're just like taking it all in, and it's just a real explosion of the senses. For me, that's what I'm aiming for, and that's what I hope that all the riders get to experience. You'll notice this time we've gone for a new model, actually. We've kind of split the course into two options, the extended version and the shorter version. So So that's really an effort not to exclude those who are, keen, passionate riders, but perhaps don't have the time anymore to be training to go hard out 6 days in a row, or perhaps they just don't quite have that confidence skill level to be doing that. But they still should be included in this event. And believe me, the short version of the course is short. Isn't really the word. It should just be like long and longer. But yeah, I'm not about elitism with these races, although quite clearly we've also got, top 10 in the world riders. But I don't see why you can't have both in the same event.
Hello, I'm Morgane Jonnier, and my goal for this season is to do all the trans of the world. Trans NZ, NZ MTB Rally, Trans Madère, Stunt King, Trans BC, Trans Nomad, Trans Sierra Norte, and Bivouac.
Where are you from?
I'm from France, of course, with my big accent, sorry.
How many days racing is that? All those trans together. Have you worked out how many days that is together?
I think is 35 days of racing.
A lot of downhill trails. I wonder how much time that'll be.
I don't know. We will see. We can check in December after the season.
So you've done 2 now. You did Trans NZ and now this is the rally. Feeling good so far?
I'm feel good. I'm a little bit sick. Very sick after the Trans NZ, but each day is better for me. I feel good.
What is the key to getting through a trans race? Getting through 6 days of downhill? What's the trick?
Sleep good, eat good, and to be focused on each stages.
All right, we're halfway through this. Let's see if I can beat you on one downhill. You think I can beat you on one downhill? Catch you?
Yeah, his first days, the God Bike Park. It was so good. I'm sorry, but it was fun to follow you.
Ray, you know super hard stuff. You've raced at the world level. You're racing at the world level. You've done double blacks and all World Cups and all that sort of stuff. I've just done my first double black, the gamble. Tell me, how does that compare for you? You don't need to sugarcoat it. Was it easy? Was it loose? How was it?
Yeah, that was pretty tech. We raced actually the top of that track for Nationals last weekend, so it's definitely up there. It's the biggest race in New Zealand for Enduro, so yeah, I think it's on par with what you're saying.
Do you have fun when you come to an event like this opposed to if you have to race it for Nationals? Has it got a different feel, like the pressure, and you don't actually have as fun when you're doing Nationals, or it's all just the same?
Oh, definitely this race is way more cruisy, way more laid back. I think because it's over 6 days as well. Like you are making a lot of mistakes and there's a bit of traffic on the tracks, and it doesn't really matter because it's more about the adventure and the event itself and discovering new places. Even for me, this is my home and my backyard, and I haven't ridden like a third of these trails ever. So it's really cool. I'm discovering new places in my backyard.
And so that's what it's about for you to come here. Obviously you can ride these whenever you want, or you can do other races, but here's just about sort of, I guess having fun with the sport, is it?
Yeah, I think fun, and then it's a really good boot camp, training camp for me, where it's just 6 days solid on a bike doing a heck of a lot of descending in different areas, different stages, super physical stages, super tech stages. So yeah, it's just a lot of bike time before I head overseas, which is going to be good prep.
What do you think when you see just sort of, let's just call it how it is, amateurs and people learning how to do it, and you catch them or they get in your way? Does that stuff sort of annoy you or trains you to try and get around riders? What about that for you, busy trails?
No, not an event like this, because you expect it. It's the adventure and there's people here. It's like their first race. I'm just so stoked that they've actually entered and was doing it, and, so if I come up to someone, I just, I'm patient. Just when they can, I don't want them to get stressed or to crash because I'm right behind them. So just call out in advance and then just wait. I think everyone's been really good and everyone's super, super good about it.
I think I'm really surprised. Like when I see other people and I think, I don't know, like it's really hard to tell skill levels. And I look at someone, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go in front of you. And the next thing they're right up behind me. I'm like, why did I even do that? This guy's really good. So can you sort of tell, Matt was telling me he can really tell someone who looks like they're going to be good. Have you got a pretty good idea when you can see someone's going to drop in front of you? Like, I might catch you.
I have no clue. It's so hard. A lot of times if someone does go ahead of me, I will look at them for the first bit of trail and just assess their riding style and speed as they go off, and then depending on that, I'll leave a big gap or a short gap. But I struggle. It's hard to judge a book by its cover because a lot of people dress down and absolutely shred, and others dress up and, they're just there for adventure.
Mate, Matt, we're at the end of stage day 3? Yeah. Day 3. Finally, I've caught up with you. You've been ahead of the game. You've been paddling. You've been riding. Now you're refueling. How's it feel, bud? Day 3 done.
Yeah, it feels good. That's like halfway. So, yeah, all downhill now. Kind of, but definitely not. So yeah, happy with that. Just kind of keeping it smooth. Like definitely getting tired now. So, just not taking chances and going quick where I know I can, and backing off where there's a chance of making mistakes. So yeah, doing my best to play it safe.
Have you made any mistakes out there that you normally wouldn't do? You're like, I'm just not myself.
I guess just being tired. Like no mistakes, but there's I'm just tired, so I know I could be pushing harder. Yeah.
Just in the physical bits, or you mean actually the way you're riding the trail?
Mainly like the bits where you have to pedal hard, and then obviously the bits after that too, where you're gassed, and then your whole body kind of just falls apart after that. So yeah, a bit of a mix, but mostly just the pedally sections.
Does it help having us around, or is it annoying? Like you see the bus go past, and then like you see people enjoying themselves, having a laugh and all that. Is that good, or is it sometimes like, God, I wish I was just out here on my own?
I haven't thought about that. It doesn't matter, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. A bit of motivation maybe, just to kind of show me that I got to keep moving forward, I suppose. Yeah.
It's good that you're breaking all the trails in for us. Is that where you like to ride, first on the trails, or you'd like to sort of be in the middle of the pack?
I guess I kind of don't have any other option today. Like, I just needed to keep moving forward and get ahead as far as I could, because all you guys were on shuttles and I was pedaling up, so I was going to be a bit slower. So I just ended up kind of holding the first position for most of the day, and it's okay. I just got to the top of the hill and then went down as soon as I got there, so no waiting. Yeah.
What have you forgotten on your trip? You thought, oh yeah, I'm going to pack light, I'll pack this, I'll pack that. Now you're thinking, why didn't I just bring this?
More clothes, but at the same time I have no space at all for more clothes, so I'd have to ditch something else for more clothes, but there's also nothing else that I can ditch, so maybe a bigger bag next time.
What about now, the last 3 days? What are you looking forward to? What are you dreading coming up?
I'm so keen to get back into Nelson City and head to the supermarket. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, mate. Enjoy. Laura, end of this third stage. We chatted the night before this thing happened. You're a roadie like me. And today we did double blacks, 2 double blacks, which I actually recon before it. And I don't know why. I just sort of thought, yeah, they're hard, but I can do it. But all of a sudden, they were super duper hard. Can you tell me about your experience today?
I think I've been to hell and back today. These double black trails are just another level, just nothing like I've ever seen before. Yeah, it was a hard day. There was many emotions out there on the mountain.
What makes them harder than anything else, you think?
Stage 4 was just a rock-infested drop territory. Stage 6 was called Pine Lime, just a steep mountain of just pine needles and soft dirt.
The rock drop in Gamble, stage 4, what were your feelings like when you come to that stuff and you see it and you're on top of it and you know you got to go down it, but it's like,
Well, that one I was stopped swearing, and then Cam, the photographer, came and helped me get my bike down. So, yeah, that was another moment today. It's been really good.
Are you feeling some kind of achievement, you know, getting through some of this stuff? Like, I did it? Or you a bit like, I don't know, annoyed or happy or sad? What are your feelings at the moment?
No, I feel like it's a bit of an achievement. We've come here and we've shown up, and I've made it to the bottom of every hill unscathed so far, so we can only keep going.
Tell me about Pine Line. The last today was a double black as well. Super duper steep. You said it was in the pines and the dirt. You actually toned it down a bit. It was a steepness. Like, you're on your top of your bike and you're really just sort of looking down. You're full on the brakes and you're still moving forward, and you've got to turn and everything above. And then there's a drop off and all this sort of stuff.
Oh, I think I fell down half the mountain today holding my bike. But then the bits that you could ride were really enjoyable, and I did a few drops that I never thought I would have done, and I think I'm getting a little bit better day by day.
Is it like when you're doing those drops, you just sort of, because I've been in that situation, you're already on them and you're already dropping before you even know. You're like, well, I guess I'm doing a drop.
There's that little, switch in your head that says, yep, your bike will get you through this. And when you drop in, that's a good feeling. Yeah, when your body says, yes, you can.
So we're 3 days down, 3 to come. What are you sort of looking forward to, or what are your thoughts about the next 3 days?
Well, the heli drop should be fun. That's not every day you're going to chopper up a mountain. I think there's a few trails that should be pretty fun and fast. Yeah, we should get through it.
Have you changed your opinion about downhill now and doing these hard trails? Does it sort of make you think, you know what, I want to get better? Or you're like, you know what, this is not for me?
Oh, there's some things definitely I can get better at. And then, the double black downhill, they can have it. I'm all right. I'll go right up a hill before I do that again.
Matt Beer, all the way over from Canada. Why have you come out to do the trails in New Zealand?
Funny story, I guess. Came here in 2009 for a working holiday visa and fell in love with the place, and got a sort of an offer to do some work while I'm down here, and Ali got me a spot, and I figured I'd take advantage of that. Invited some good friends from back home on the east coast of Canada. They rallied together, and we're here to check out a bunch of trails. We've been all over, so it's been epic.
Tell me about these trails. Like, give everyone a bit of an idea. How gnarly are these trails? Are they gnarly? Give me a comparison. Give me a comparison to Canada. Give me a comparison to Australia, US, wherever. Where's these trails sit?
They're pretty technical. I mean, around Nelson, it's very sharp rock, and every spot has been different in its own way too, right? Like, super technical in the gorge, higher speeds, big boulders, and then here at Cable Bay, it's been like lots of surfy little pebbles and more sharp rock, but then good mix in the pines. So that's been really cool.
You're up the front end. You're going fast. How's this differ to us at the back end? We're just getting down. These trails, the double blacks and all that sort of stuff. How are you approaching these trails?
I mean, riding them blind is definitely hard, but I guess the best way to, approach that is you can always go faster out if you're smooth in. So if you blow the turn, you get all flustered and the rest of your run's kind of crap, right? So just take it how it comes. And sure, if they were your local, you'd probably hit the corner a little faster, but you got to treat these races differently. Like, it's a lot of fun and get to ride everything, get to ride all sorts of different tracks. So you just make each one an experience, I guess. Have fun with it.
All right, what about to the people out there who have never done downhill, never done enduro, maybe have just dabbled in a bit of cross country, or maybe never even ridden a mountain bike before? Why are you coming here? Why are you doing this sort of crazy stuff that we're talking about? These descents that are like practically feel like vertical, log drops, chutes, all that sort of language you use. Why the hell are we here?
I think it's just a pretty luxurious way to see all the New Zealand's trails around the Nelson area. I mean, we've got a heli tomorrow. We've been shuttled to the top of most of the stages, and just the variety. It's been epic.
Is it better than Canada?
It's unique in its own way, and yeah, I think wherever you go, like if you got a crew like this around you, good friends, good food, and shuttles to the top, you're gonna have a good time.
Baptiste Vigneault, I'm from France.
Okay, what I want to say is the racing finished at 4 o'clock today. It's after 6, you're having dinner, and your helmet is still on your head. I cannot work this out. Why do you have your helmet still on?
Because I don't have hat, so just keep the helmet on my head, and that's it. Stay safe.
Stay safe eating dinner.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys still with their helmets on. Why do they do this in enduro or in mountain biking? Why do you guys wear your helmets the whole day?
Because you think you can take it off during the night. We don't.
Just to stay safe all day long, and I don't have cap, so that's all right.
So it's about the style? Is it about the safety? Why do you wear your helmet so long?
Safety first.
You can't tell me that. You're sitting at the table eating dinner.
Yeah, but if I fall, I can hurt the wall or something, and need to stay safe.
My name is Sam, and I'm from Hamilton, New Zealand.
So I've heard that you're doing a lot of your riding in Rotorua. And today's trails, how do they compare to some of the most infamous trails in New Zealand, let alone the rest of the world? There's some of the other trails. Today we're at Cable Bay. We're halfway through the rally.
Yeah, today was amazing. I've never ridden tracks like that, especially stage 4 and stage 6. I was absolutely terrified going down them, but I made it down in one piece. So yeah, just the looseness, the dust, just unreal.
You were terrified, and you ride mountain bike all the time. I've only just started riding downhill a couple of weeks ago, and I was terrified. I assumed everyone else was like cruising. It was hard for you.
Yeah, I'm just not used to the elevation. Like 400 meters of elevation where I'm from is as high as we go, and here 700 to 900 meters just seems to be normal. So it's unreal.
It was pretty steep, wasn't it? How'd you attack the last one? Let's talk about Pine Line. Were you finding that a pretty offensive, steep corners, the drops, all that sort of stuff? How'd that go?
That was actually a piece of cake. Like, it didn't really worry me. But just that grade 4, just having the loose rock, that really threw me off. So yeah, grade 6, it was just a blast. Loved it.
Well, day 4, here we go. Up in the choppers today. Up to the top of the copper mine, I think. I'm just getting the notes up to read through the stages here. Stage 1 is a long blue. Nice one to get us going today. That'll be nice just to tick that off. And then we're going to a double black peaking ridge. And then a double black plus 629. What the hell is that going to be? And then stage 4, we're on to a nice blue to finish. Oh my gosh, 2 double blacks. And whatever the hell plus means.
I am Bruno Brown from Nelson.
Awesome, mate. Local boy. We're hitting up your local trails now. We're at day 4, and now we're getting into it. We're heading up in a chopper. Have you been in a chopper before? Helicopter, that is.
Only once, yeah.
For mountain biking?
Yeah, mountain biking.
It's a pretty common thing to do. It doesn't seem like it is, but it's common over here, isn't it?
Oh, a little bit. I don't really know many people who've been in a chopper mountain biking, so it's going to be pretty cool, yeah.
Tell me about it. So we're here, we've ridden up a little mountain, we've got the pad just in front of us. What's going to happen from what you understand or what you've heard or from your one experience?
Oh, we're gonna load the choppers like in groups, and then we're going up there in the ridge. You can see the top of the copper mine from here, so yeah.
So how do the actual bikes get on there?
We load them from the side. 2 bikes on each side, I think, but I don't know. I can't really remember. So
Is it like full, military style? We get the headsets and we get to talk to each other and all that stuff, or you just sort of load in and load out, not that eventful?
Nah, it's pretty military style, I reckon. It's pretty sick. It's gonna be an experience for people who haven't done it before. So yeah.
How far is it to ride where we're getting choppered?
No, we're right there. That we get dropped right at the top. So
I mean, if you didn't take the chopper.
Oh, I mean, for the average Joe, it takes about 2 hours to get to the top, maybe. That's what it takes me, so... Yeah.
And in the chopper, you reckon? 4 minutes?
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty short. It's, I think Matthew will have be a bit jealous, but yeah.
Oh, well, tell me about the rally so far. You're right up there. What position are you in now? Last time I checked, you were top 5.
Yeah, I'm top 5. So, in the extended course, I am 5th, and on the normal course, I am in 4th. Yeah, had a good day yesterday, which was amazing. Yeah.
And you know these trails, Copper Mine and 621, I think is, or whatever it's called. You can tell me in a second. Tell me about the trails today. What am I in for?
Oh, wait. So the Copper Mine, it's pretty flat, pretty flowy. A bit of pedalling if you're into that. It's a really long trail. It's going to be good. And then Peking Ridge is steep. It's I reckon one of the best trails in Nelson. And 629. That is. I haven't ridden that in about 3 years. It's pretty good. It's just Nelson style, steep corners and steep. Yeah. Yeah.
Double black then.
Yeah, I think that Peking Ridge and 629 are double black. So yeah.
Here we go. Just jumped off the chopper. Your first chopper ride, was it?
It wasn't the first, but it was the first with mountain bike strapped to it.
How'd it feel up there? Give everyone an idea of what it feels like.
Mate, I was excited, and then I saw the trails that we were coming down as we were going over the top, and it went to another level.
It was a weird feeling, wasn't it? Sort of like, it's pretty twitchy up there.
Bit of a wobble, right?
Yeah.
Bit of a wobble, and then all of a sudden you see all this water under you. It was epic.
Let's get into Copper Mine. We're on our way. This is day 4, stage 4. And we have just finished something ridiculous. It was a double black plus. And I'm here with my riding buddy Josh. Mate, tell me what you think.
I think I'm just happy to be down there in one piece, and that's about it really. Happy to nearly be done for the day.
Well, we were discussing before, this question is like, yeah, why are we here doing this stuff where we're borderline just trying to stay alive, aren't we?
Absolutely. Just for fun, I guess, but yeah.
When you came here, did you imagine it was going to be like this?
Absolutely not. No, I thought it'd be a lot easier than this, to be honest.
And we were joking before about when we go back to our own trails, this is going to be like child's play, isn't it?
Local trail is going to be the easiest trails in the world now. This has just been savage.
Tell me a little bit about what it was like going down there, if you can explain it in a few words. To someone who doesn't know, or someone who's riding trails back home and thinks, it can't be that hard.
Steeper, scarier, slipperier, if that's a word.
And it was just like chute after chute, which means, sort of rock slabs that you got to just drop down into corners. Some little jumps in the middle. I bet you were doing some fun stuff over that.
Yeah, the jumps are very fun, and everything else is just really high consequence for a bunch of amateurs, essentially.
Well, we're going into our last trail now. Blue Trail, which once upon a time would have been hard for me, but now all of a sudden it feels easy. Well, famous last words. And we might do a bit of a party train.
So I'm Mark Hood, I'm from Melbourne.
Mark, today was, I think, a very big day, like in terms of new ground. For me anyway, personally, we broke new ground. Double blacks, really hard trails, but well, let's speak about the first them and then we'll speak about the end. Tell me about your experience through the hard stuff, because you handle yourself pretty well on a mountain bike.
Yeah, that's my limit. That is 100% my limit. And the beauty of it is so far outside of what you get at home. And so you come, you're never going to get that at home. So that's what it's all about. It's amazing.
So people are probably wondering, why would you do that? Why do you do that to yourself? Why do you push yourself to the limit? Why do you feel like you're on the edge of crashing and hurting yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. My wife asked the same question. It's the challenge. You're just finding new things, new ways to do it. Our gear is amazing. We spend all this money on these amazing bikes, and this is where they actually do what they're supposed to do. So yeah.
So I had this bit of a transition. So we finished the double black, which was, what was that called? Do you remember?
629.
629.
Yep.
We finished 629. We're rolling along. I was rolling along with Josh, and we're both thinking, why are we here? You know, this is ridiculous. This is so hard. Blah blah. Bit in a negative sort of spin. And we just do the last trail here, which was it's a blue. It was a flow trail. It had some nice berms, still hard, some nice jumps, and we both came out of it with grins on our face. We're here drinking beers, and it's all forgotten. You know, it's all fun, and that's sort of, they've done very well with that. They've planned the trails well, challenging, and then something quite fun and fast at the end. How did you feel after the last trail?
That's the design, isn't it? Like you go through hell together, and then they give you this beautiful little thing to end on, and everyone comes out with a massive grin. Yeah, 100%. But that last trail, it was fun, but you could overcook it easily. So the beauty of that sort of thing is you can ride it as fast as you want, or as fast as your skills will allow. So the fast dudes, they're going to be riding that much faster than you and me, and that makes what is a blue trail pretty hectic. So that's the beauty of it.
Describe sort of the atmosphere, and for yourself anyway, that's sort of built up. I'm noticing it's changing as the days go on. There's almost a point where I sort of felt after a couple of days, is it necessary to do 6 days? You know, we're just doing the same thing. But things are sort of changing now. Everyone's becoming a bit closer as a group, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right. You get to know people a bit more. People self-select, and you find the riders that are at a similar level to you. And the days are similar, but they're different as well. Today was a much longer day, a couple of big climbs. Felt more like a journey, sort of point to point today, as opposed to looping back to the same spot. So, yeah, I understand what you mean. 6 days is a lot, but, I mean, you've come all this way. You get to the bottom, everyone's grinning, everyone's keen to go again tomorrow. So, yeah.
I've just been reading through day 5. I've just been reading through the notes for today. We're heading right up into the backcountry, apparently. Choppers again. Listen to this. A scenic drive from Nelson's deposits riders into Butcher's Flat camping area, once home to a gold mining community. Now the staging area for the helicopter that will take riders to the summit of this pioneering gold route across the mountains. This day is deep into the backcountry with only one way in and one way out, the trail you are riding. No mobile phone coverage, so please ride accordingly. In my case, safely. 3 stages, single black, and then stage 3, a double black. Of course, always like to slip a double black in.
Hey, my name is Sam Davis, and I'm from Hamilton, New Zealand.
Sam, as we're riding in today, we got dropped off. It's day 5. You just told me this is an area that you know. You got friends out here. We're in the backcountry now. You can hear the choppers in the background. Another day of heli biking or whatever it's called. Tell me a little bit about the area.
It's a stunning area, halfway between Picton and Nelson. Yeah, got some friends that have got a big farm here. There for 3 days, and just before this event, I just didn't want to leave. It was so nice. So yeah, ended up leaving to ride bikes, and yeah, back here again.
Why is it so nice around here? What is it?
It's just a sense of peace and just enjoyment. Sort of feels like time stops, and yeah, it's just a special place.
What do you know about the trails today? From your friends, what they told you, and from listening and hearing and even riding some?
Just backcountry, original New Zealand backcountry riding. You can't beat it. I love it.
What does that mean, backcountry riding? For me, who's not really new to mountain biking, is it going to be rough? Is it going to be steep? I don't know. What is it?
It'll just be hiking tracks. It depends on the mountain, whatever the mountain's like. They just put the tracks in, and then you ride them if you can. If you can't, you're walking.
So no berms, no built-up berms and double jumps and all that. Just going to be rocky sort of technical stuff, is it?
Yeah, it will be. That'll be a blast. You'll love it.
How you been carrying along so far in the race? We're almost at the end. I can almost taste it. You getting tired, or you getting a bit sad that it's almost over?
Yeah, a bit sad. I am really looking forward to going and seeing my family again. It's been too long, but yeah, just the beer at the end of the day is getting sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, and the bed, getting to bed at the end of the day as well, it's just tops the day.
Well, big day ahead. Let's crack on.
Yeah, sweet as. See you out there.
Adam Vidal from Sydney, Australia.
Adam, yesterday you guys, we travelled across in the chopper together to do day 4 and stage 1. It was called the Copper Mine. We were all laughs and giggles at the top of the trail, and it was actually supposedly one of the easier trails of the week, the long, fun one. I actually went down. It was loose, it was slippery. It was actually the one I thought I was going to really enjoy and maybe get some time back with a bit of pedaling. One of the ones that I probably enjoyed the least because it was not super challenging, that it was just a bit slippery and I was trying to push it. We got down to the bottom and one of your crew, Lee, he had a bit of an off. What was the story there?
Yeah, he was enjoying that run a lot. Blue, Shayley, hunting a time, I think. But when it opened up after going through that Shayley stuff, so on the smooth, getting into the forest, he said that he got into this big flow state and just was frothing on it, loving it. It's going really, really fast. And as he came into coming through a straight, he saw a little bit of a log and thought, oh yeah, this is a bit of a jump. And as he rose up and looked, it was a hard left. Threw on the anchors and it was all too late. Over the handlebars and landed in the berm on his shoulder. And he has snapped his AC. Yeah, he's in good spirits though. He actually picked up his bike, tried to ride, started riding, thought, oh no, this really, really hurts. Then he heard that there was the guy at the stage, so he ran to the stage to make sure he buzzed his time. And he looked at his time last night and said, oh, I beat you guys by a minute.
After running and crashing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they don't make them like that anymore, do they?
So what was the reality of that, yesterday afternoon, getting him out of that trail? Because we were in they call it the backcountry here, where it's pretty hard, and even today's even harder. That was really lovely in the briefing. Don't crash because we can't get an ambulance in there. It's like what you want to really hear. But what was the reality of the day? Because I came straight down after you guys and I passed a message along the train, got to the next support and sort of gave them the prognostic of what was going on, prognosis. So tell me, what happened after that?
So after you left, because I saw you there, there was one of the trail crew guys. He is a volunteer medic day to day, and he fortunately had some Panadol, and then another rider had some Nurofen. So we dosed him up on that, sat him down, made sure he's comfortable, got some water. When you went down and told the next marshal or the end there, they radioed in a medic to ride down from the top. I wasn't there then, so my other companion Andrew and I, we kept on riding because there's not much more we could do. And then when that guy, the medic arrived, they gave him some more morphine and dosed him up, but they had to walk him out with his bike, so he was just walking along the trail and met a car not too far from there.
Well, the chopper's coming in, so it'll be hard to hear, but hopefully we don't see any more of that today.
I agree. I'm going to take it easy and just enjoy the ride.
G'day everyone, I'm Derek, one of the crew, Nelson-based local, driving the shuttle here this week and had a ride in a helicopter today, so it's all good.
It was pretty good. You've just caught you on the way back from the river. We've just finished the 3 stages today. It was very, very different today. And coming from a bit more of a pedaling background, I loved the ride back from the stage 3. Bit of techie sort of up and downs and rolling around. What do you think about it out here in the sort of the backcountry?
Yeah, that is one of our classic backcountry rides. So yeah, you earn your up and you enjoy the down, but there's always a little bit more up. Good for your skills.
Tell me about the river I'm just about to pop down to and have a swim.
One of our crystal clear rivers here, the Waka Marina. Long history of gold panning. In fact, there's a guy down there at the moment panning for gold.
Wow, do you see any nuggets down there?
I don't have any nuggets. He'll say there might be a bit of colour in there, and that's a few flecks, and that's about all you can hope for.
Well, hopefully there's no injuries out here for us today, because as I heard from the briefing, there's a big hike out. It was a long ride out, so all good so far from the radio?
Yeah, as far as I've heard, it's been all plain sailing. So yeah, it is a bit problematic for access, but amazing what you can do with a helicopter these days.
Let's get a cold beer. I'm going to have a swim and I'll see you back up there.
Watch out for those sandflies.
I'm Annie from Sydney. We just finished day 5.
Annie, this is a pretty cool setting, isn't it? We've walked down to the river. There's a river running. There's beautiful smooth rocks. A few beers in hand. Ice cold water.
Can't get much better.
Tell me about today and sort of, aside from the trails, just a little bit about the nature of today and how it was in comparison to the last few days.
Today was completely different than the last few days. Started with a beautiful descent, tire slicing descent from what I've seen on the side of the trail. Then a couple of liaisons that slashed a few more tires, but stunning nature, ferns in the middle of the forest. I think we hiked about an hour uphill. It was absolutely stunning. Yeah, today was backcountry, but just stunning.
Do you like this sort of stuff, like this sort of loose, not really trail known there, or do you like more manicured bike park stuff?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I prefer backcountry. It might be a bit slower and it might be a bit more navigational skill involved to actually stay on the trail, but it's like you don't get that anywhere else. So yeah, no, it was definitely a highlight today.
That's right, like we've had a bit of everything here, and I know we keep saying that, but it really has been a bit of everything, and like very technical stuff again today. It's almost like I'll call black and double black. I don't know if they're the same as the double blacks yesterday, but I wouldn't say they're easy either.
No, like they were easier than some of the other double blacks, but different. Like you just had to like go and have fun, and I think just hearing everyone in front of me and behind me giggling their ass off the whole way down said everything that you need to know about the trails.
Wrapping this whole week up tomorrow, sort of what are you looking to finally achieve that you haven't achieved this week in the last day of trails?
Ooh, proper right-hand corners. Like I'm definitely learning how to corner tight corners here in Nelson and around. So goal for tomorrow is to just get them all properly and finish on a high, finish the extended stages and have a lot of fun while doing so.
Well, it's the morning of the last day. I'm just walking around to get my bike and ride up to get some breakfast before we head out to the last trails here in Nelson, actually, the Nelson City Trails. I got a chance to recon a couple of them on the first day with Matt. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how much I've really improved over the week. I don't really feel like I have. I feel like I've just attempted really hard stuff. Doesn't really mean I'm going faster. I've crashed a lot. I don't know, maybe 5-6 times, but nothing super bad. Gonna be interesting today. I want to test myself, but ultimately still stay safe.
Hey, Michael Kolbeck. I'm from Poland, but I do live in Los Angeles.
So we're on the last day, and you just told me something interesting. Tell me about today.
Well, huge day. I think it's the biggest day. We climb almost 1,000 meters up, so just perfect time to end the rally.
That's one thing with enduro is there is pedaling, and it doesn't sound like much if you're a road cyclist like I am, but on these bikes it's hard, isn't it?
Sure. I mean, there's no real definition of enduro. For me, it's more going down, but yeah, we do have stages that some people enjoy, more pedally, and then it's getting tough after 6 days for sure.
What else? What are you looking forward to today, apart from the riding? What are you looking forward to? The trails. Do you know anything about these trails?
I have no idea, but it was all fun. Today is getting a little more stressful because I'm one of the 2 guys that are separated by 1 second for the lead, so I will have to push.
Yeah, you're in the... That's right, you are too. I forgot about that. Yeah, oh my gosh. So you're going to have to... So where are you, first or second?
I'm first right now, but there's 1 second, so anything, 1 corner you messed up, that's it. So you have to push all day and I guess pedal more than other days.
Well, good luck today, mate. I'll be looking forward to speaking to you at the end.
Thank you.
Hey, my name's Bryce Oxley. I'm from San Clemente, California.
Bryce, we're at the last day. We've been hanging out a little bit over the week, not on the trails, but afterwards.
Yeah,
you're a little bit
too fast.
You're too fast, I was going to say. Mate, last day. It's wrapping up. Give me a bit of a feeling what you want out of the last day. The 5 days before, things you've learned, the skills you've got, and it's like, okay, I've got 1 day to do whatever I've got left in the tank.
So it's kind of interesting being here at the last day because after day one and feeling tired and beat and a bit knackered and then being like, we have 5 more of these, it's a bit surreal to be sitting here right now having all of those days kind of mushed together, right? So today I'm just looking to have a really smooth day, ride the trail. I'm not going to race any trail today. I'll be riding. There'll be a race happening, but I'll just be riding in that race. I have a pretty comfy spot in 3rd place right now, and if the guys ahead of me make a few mistakes, so be it. I hope not, because they've been racing hard all week, and I just kind of need to manage my little spot right here and finish strong and healthy. And as you know, I've been mitigating a few injuries this trip and hit the ground a few times, so that's never really the plan for an old dude. And just want to come out of here stronger and happier and make it to the after party with more energy than anybody else, so I can outdrink you tonight.
Good luck on that.
Yeah, good luck on that. I know.
Hey, well, for me, right, coming into this very unexperienced, not having done much downhill at all, what do you think will happen for me after getting 6 solid days of riding, you know, however many hours we've done now of actual downhill, not just hours of riding, but actual downhill? I don't know, do you think there's going to be a massive progression or will still take time to settle in all those skills I've learned? What are you sort of predicting next week when I hit the trails?
I already know what's going to happen. You're turned out. I figure your program's going to look a little bit different from here on out. You've kind of rose to the occasion here and soaked it all up and talked to the right people and got some cues, but did it your way. And from what I see, you're kind of kicking ass. So I figure you've had a good time and you always have a big smile on your face. And I think your program's going to look a little different from here on out.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea because it is a very cool community here. And you came across on your own. I know that you know what this community is like in general, but I guess you didn't know what it was going to be like here in New Zealand, this being a new event. Lastly, what do you think of the group that's been here and coming across on your own to one of these things?
Yeah. So coming across on your own from the States is always kind of a dicey proposition, but what's cool about these types of events is that we're all bonded by one common denominator, and that's just the bicycle. Whether you're a gravel guy, a roadie guy, a cross-country guy, it doesn't matter. We all love bicycles. So that means we all have something to talk about and we all have something in common. This event, however, is probably the tightest, coolest group of people. Everybody has a ton of fun together. Everyone's kind of screwing off on the side of the trails and doing their damn thing. And this has been one of the most fun trips I've ever had. And I highly recommend everybody get out of their comfort zone. And if your mates don't want to come and do this type of thing, maybe you need new mates, but you need to come and do it anyways because there's plenty of people here and everybody here is super fun. And this group is special.
All right, we've got a few more for the party.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
You all good?
Yeah.
I was sick at the bottom, hey?
Yeah, it was good.
It was good fun the whole way, actually. That's a sick trail, top to bottom. It's
the
unreal.
fatigue is real.
Yeah.
I got nervous or something down there. I was like,
it's really narrow.
And I was like, fuck, I missed it, almost missed the edge.
And it's like off camber as well, so I was up as high as I could on the side, hey, like nearly clipping my pedal on the edge. I want to just hug that wall. I'm like,
and I don't know, I just sort of got in my head, you know, when you do that, and then you just start braking way too much.
Yeah. We just don't know what's coming, do you? You've got to keep your eyes out so much, hey, it's incredible.
How those guys do it fast.
I know, it's like the risk, hey. Because it's not just you, it's the grip of the trail. Like, it's so loose.
You can be as
good as you want, but like if that just slides, yo, how good was that? Unreal.
Who was you weren't behind me at the start, were you?
There you go.
Oh, so where's he? Oh yeah, right.
Yo, how good was that?
Someone was right behind me and then suddenly I couldn't hear him anymore.
Top to bottom.
Oh, thanks, man.
How was it, Jens?
Perfect. The second stage was like, that was my final.
Yeah. Way better, hey?
Yeah.
Good fun.
I'm Lachlan Robos from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada.
I'm Mike Trickett from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada.
And I'm Matt Beer from the same place, St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada.
Oh, there's a mouthful. I'm not even going to try and say that. Matt, you've been on earlier in the week. Boys, we're in the last few trails of the rally. Some hard stuff. I got mixed up with you guys at the start, which wasn't pleasant on anyone's side. But it was fun. Fun to see the amount of speed that you guys came past. We also saw Matt Fairbrother out there too. I tried to trail him down a trail, which was a mistake again. Tell me, what are you thinking about the last few trails now as we come to, we've got I think it's the Enduro World Cup that we've got next, don't we?
Yeah, I think that one looks like it's going to be really long, and I think there's at least one lung buster down the middle, so should be a struggle there, I think.
I'm actually looking forward to the uphill bit. That's my favourite bit. What about the last, we did the jump trail just now, but the first trail today was pretty long as well, and my arms were fatiguing, my quads, even though it got split in two, you passed me towards the end. How'd you feel down there?
Yeah, on the first, I wasn't warmed up great. My feet were hurting pretty good, but after I got down a little bit further and warmed up, it's pretty good. Some loose corners.
And Matt, you're still right up there on the GC. Well, you all are. What happened here on the transitions? You go wild and there was a full jumps, like doubles and, did you get the fishtailing happening and all that sort of crazy jazz?
Yeah, there was a couple little dog wags, but blind jumps, little wind, very tired now. A bit of an enduro setup on the bike, so I was just keeping it pretty composed.
All right, boys, let's get into it. Leon, mate, here we go. We've been fighting for the GC. Unfortunately, we party trained the first one, and I came past Benny and yourself on that trail, which I didn't expect. It's never nice to see someone on the side. But since then, we went over a jump track, and look, I'll just tell my own little experience. I went up and landed front wheel, back wheel on the first jump, and I probably got about half a metre of air, completely skid marks everywhere in my pants. I just went, what am I doing? I shouldn't be doing this. What happened with you? It was a transition stage and a massive jumps, wasn't it? But you were looking forward to it.
I was devastated, man. I was just too excited. Following the other boys through it, and then I just hit that second A-line and just boosted to the flat and went over the bars, and here I am. Blood everywhere.
You sound so good-spirited. You got holes in the T-shirt. You got
nipples out.
It's sort of random how that's both nipple holes. Yeah, you gonna get through?
I don't know. I'll see. Give me 10 minutes, 15 minutes. See how I'm feeling. If I can get my arm to start moving a bit better, yeah, for sure. Let's go.
Awesome, mate.
I've got to keep up with you, mate.
I want you in there to the finish. It's been great.
Oh, I'm Sandy. I'm from Switzerland originally, but been living here in Nelson for the last 20 odd years.
Tell us about this. This is our second last trail, and this is a big one. I'm feeling like a little bit nervous, not about the technical, but about the length. It's going to be 15, 20 minutes. Tell us about the trail.
It's certainly a long trail, but it doesn't feel like a 20-minute downhill. It is so changing and entertaining. You definitely don't get bored. The pedally bits are hard, but you just push through it, and yeah.
What about the technical stuff? It is a double black, isn't it?
Yes, so watch out for the first few corners. Pretty rocky. Then once you've survived, or in my opinion, once I've survived that, then it's really fun and beautiful in the native forest. The last bit is very open and sort of a little bit skittish. Yeah, but in total, it's a super fun track.
And the fatigue levels will be high?
Yeah, you should be puffing at the end. Yeah, totally. You're pushing it.
Well, let's have a chat at the bottom and see. So how was it, girls?
Oh, yeah, I do have sore legs, I must admit. And I breathe a little bit harder than on top. Yeah.
How long did you wait before you left?
Maybe 20 seconds.
Well, I might have held the gap, or maybe you closed about 5 seconds. What do you think?
Oh, no, I saw you disappearing in the distance on those pedalling uphill stages.
How'd you find it? I was trying to catch you too, but nowhere in sight. What was your name, sorry?
Cindy Hoffman. No, it was super awesome. It was so fun. It's changed every 2 minutes, the track. It was just insane.
It was a real adventure, wasn't it? Like with the uphills and just like even this last bit. I was like trying not to tip over the edge, but how do you feel now? Tired? Only one track left.
I'm definitely tired, but I really look forward to the next stage.
Tell me about it, Tim.
That was intense. It was good, man.
Long? How were the uphills?
Oh, they were savage. That big climb, just like hitting a hill. I thought it was over. Just keep pedaling. It was good.
What about this last bit, sliding your ass around here? One of the quickest I've seen.
Yeah, saw the crowd, and hanging out.
One stage to go.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm Ben. I'm from Sydney, a Brit living in Sydney, like many others.
So, we're all done. We're waiting at the bike wash. Tell me about your day.
Today was a tough one, but some of the best tracks yet. It was really good to have some of the Nelson locals join us, bit of fresh energy. And then on to probably stage 4 and 5 were the best. Having the hecklers at the end as well to give you a bit of energy. I think that was a real boost at the end.
How'd you go on the last trail? Because I sort of got told it was like, yeah, it's a blue, cruise down, this will be all fun. Holy hell, I was just back in double black land. It was so hard.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme this week. Not all the trails seemed as we expected them. Yeah, it had some steep corners, and I think some tired bodies made it a bit harder than it otherwise could have been.
Hi, I'm Megan from Sydney, American living in Sydney.
Megan, tell me about your day. Well, tell me about your day and also your week. How's it gone? And happy to be here now at the bike wash, all done and dusted.
Yeah, so psyched to be here and finished. The first 2 tracks today, I actually love them. Tried track 4, even though I wasn't doing the extended course, just for fun to check it out because it's the the EWS built course. That was pretty cool. Love that trail. This last one was harder than that one. So these rating system maybe doesn't make sense to me, but hey, it was a really fun day. So happy I made it through the week. Completely exhausted, but really proud of everyone's accomplishments this week. So super psyched.
Have you crashed this week?
Many times. You can see my legs. They are camouflage of black and blue and pedal strikes and all kinds of stuff. But if that's all the injury I've got, I can go to work next week. So happy about that.
Coming here before, what was your mountain bike skill or your downhill skill, and did you think it matched these trails?
I would say I'm comfortable on definitely blues into single blacks. Double blacks push my skill level, so sometimes I have to walk things. I think the trails, I didn't do all the extended ones, so I didn't do stage 6 at Cable Bay, but all the other ones I did, and I managed. Some I had to shimmy down on my butt, but we made it work. And yeah, I think it was a good challenge and to upskill my skills.
Well, this is it, mate. Just as we started, we're heading back to the airport. Pretty early. I booked an early flight. It's about 3:45 in the morning. You're normally used to this anyway, but you've been kind enough after your big journey to still be up in the early hours of the morning to take me to the airport. Mate, how's it feel to be woken up when you're not on an adventure, but just to drive me to the airport this time of the day?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely early. I wouldn't be up at this time if it weren't for this, but I mean, I guess it's okay. Like, I think I'm tired enough to the point where, like, I'll get back home and I'll be able to get back to sleep easily enough. So, yeah, not too bothered by it.
Well, just to wrap up the rally, yeah, I guess you didn't get to see much from myself, but you've heard the stories. We had a good sort of debrief last night and on the way back. I don't know, what's your opinion of the rally in an event on itself?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good showcase of the mountain biking New Zealand has to offer, and especially the Nelson Tasman part of New Zealand. Yeah, it would be hard to beat the amount of biking we did this week, so I think it was awesome.
It certainly was really, really tough, and I'm really happy that I got to see all the different levels of trail. Some of the toughest stuff, and even to hear some of the good people say, that was pretty hard actually. I'm like, yeah, right, that is hard. That's good. It's good to hear because I thought it was bloody hard. What would you sort of say to anyone out there who is sort of like me, just getting into it, or maybe hasn't started? Because it's pretty intimidating, like to think like downhill enduro. you've seen me come across, I guess. We've trained together, the progression of the week. You've seen a lot of people. You've been in the sport for a long time. I guess listening out there, what would you say to anyone that's maybe thinking of dipping their toe in? What's a good way to get started?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that mountain biking is a super welcoming sport, and, you know, like, you can just jump in it and no one's going to judge you. Like, we've all kind of been at that point where, you know, we might be scared to do something super little, but that's just a part of it. And honestly, I think people are always going to be happy to help you get over those fears, and it's just a part of it. And honestly, it's like such a social sport. Like, you can always just chat to anyone, and there's always that common denominator of just bikes. So you just get out there and just start doing it. Just find something and just build your way up.
Probably send it. You.
Yeah, exactly that. Just send it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed coming on the road with me. That was super fun. I really, really had a great time meeting everyone there. I tell you, the community was so cool. I went over on my own, but there were a lot of people who traveled across on their own. There were a few groups. It's something I never would have thought about doing, and it's only that I've decided to explore all these different pelotons out there that this came on my radar. Keep pushing the boat out. Keep pushing myself outside my comfort zone. Technically, it was very hard. It pushed me outside my comfort zone, but meeting all the different people, feeling like I couldn't just resort back to what I knew from road racing. It was a really, really cool event, and I love being over there in New Zealand. Everyone was so helpful. A massive thanks goes out to our partner, MAAP, who are making this podcast happen this year, Red Bricks Media, who put it together, the Life in the Peloton team, and you guys for listening. Like I said at the start of the episode, if you're not a Pelo member, go across, check that out. I would love to have you across in the echelon, or if you're just hanging on back in the doom line. Until next week, guys, thanks for listening. Cheers.
That iconic music in this episode was composed by none other than the legend Pete Shelley. Cheers, mate.